Hi Year 4, this is Pink Maths and this is all of your week 7 learning. So once you finish watching day 1, make sure you pause the video until you're ready to watch day 2. So this week you're learning all about 2D shapes and today we're going to recognise some different 2D shapes. Now, let's see if you know what this shape is called. Okay, I'm going to give you a second to have a think before I show you the answer. So this is a square. Well done if you knew that already. And what about this shape? It's a rectangle. Fantastic if you already knew that. This shape is a triangle. And this shape is a circle. Well done if you knew all of those. So can you see any objects around you that have the same shape as one of the shapes we've just learned? So I had a look around me and I could see a box of chocolates and I noticed that the lid was the same shape as a rectangle. Okay, see if you can see any around you that are the same shape as a rectangle, a square, a circle, or a triangle. So the first thing you have to do today is you need to draw lines to match the 2D shapes to their names. So if I have a look at the first shape, which is orange, I remembered that that's a square. So I'm going to find the word square and join a line to match them together. And you need to do that for the rest of the shapes. Okay. The second thing you need to do is some more matching, and this is the third thing you need to do. So it says colour the rectangles red, the squares blue, the circles green, and the triangles yellow. Okay. So if I look at the picture, I can see a really big circle here. Okay. So that means I need to go back to the question and I need to colour the circle green. So I'm going to colour it in green. Okay. And you need to do that for the rest of the shapes on the picture. So moving on to day 2, and you're going to be carrying on recognising 2D shapes today. So, can you remember what these shapes are called that we learnt about yesterday? I'm going to give you a few seconds just to try and remember their names. So the first shape at the top is a square. The second shape that's blue is a rectangle. The third yellow shape is a triangle. And the last shape is a circle. Well done if you can remember all of those shapes from yesterday. So today you have lots of questions where you're circling the odd one out in each group. Now the odd one out basically means it's different to all the rest. So if we look at these shapes, the first one is a triangle, the second one's a triangle, the third one's a square, the fourth one's a triangle, and the fifth one is also a triangle. That means that the square was different to all the others, so I'm going to circle the square. Okay, and you need to do that for the rest of those questions. Moving on to day 3, and today you're going to be looking at the same shapes, but you're going to be understanding a bit more about something called the property of the shapes, okay, and that tells you a bit more about what the shapes are like. So, if we look at our first shape, which is a square, okay, I'm going to count the number of sides that the square has. 1, 2, 3, 4. This means a square has 4 sides. And if I look carefully at the sides, they're all straight. So you can say that a square has 4 straight sides. Now if I look at my next shape, which is a rectangle, see if you can count the number of sides it has before I show you. So a rectangle has 1, 2, 3, 4 sides again. And they're all straight. So a rectangle has 4 straight sides. The next shape we have is a triangle. Can you count the number of sides? It has 1, 2, 3 straight sides. A triangle has 3 straight sides. And finally a circle. Okay. The circle doesn't have more than one side and it's not straight. Okay. A circle's a bit different. It has one side and it's curved, which means it goes round and it's not straight. So a circle has one curved side. Okay, now that you've learnt all these things, you need to write a sentence about each of these shapes on your next sheet. So the first one's been done a little bit for you. You just have to fill in the gap. So it says a square has sides. Okay, can you remember how many sides a square has? It has 4 sides and they're all straight. So you would write a square has 4 straight sides, and you need to do that for the rest of your sheet. Moving on to day 4, and you're going to be looking at a few more 2D shapes today. So we've already learned about squares, triangles, rectangles and circles, and today we're going to be learning a few more names of shapes. So this shape is an oval, okay? An oval. Now this shape, I think some of you might have seen before, and it's something that you'd go to the park and fly in the air, so it attaches to some string and it flies in the air. It's a kite, okay? So this shape is a kite. This shape is a pentagon, and this shape is a hexagon, okay? So you need to draw lines to match the 2D shape to its label. Now the one we just did was a hexagon, and I remember that's the grey shape with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides. So I'm going to join up hexagon to the picture there, okay? And you need to do that for the rest. Now you have to look at the picture and label the shapes you've learnt about this week, and one's been done for you. So I've already got pentagon labelled on there, and you've got to think about all the shapes you've learnt this week, so everything from the beginning. So can you see any circles, triangles, squares, rectangles, ovals, kites and hexagons on there? And the last thing you need to do today is more of the circling the odd one out. And can you remember what odd one out means? It means it's different to the rest. So let's have a look at our shapes. So I've got a rectangle, I've got a hexagon, a rectangle, another rectangle, and then another rectangle, which means the hexagon's different to the rest, and we're going to circle the hexagon. So moving on to your final day of learning, and this is day 5, and we're understanding the properties of 2D shapes. So can you remember the names of these shapes? And we have to write the names next to the pictures. Now the first one was an oval, okay, so this is an oval. And can you remember the rest of the names of the shapes? You need to fill them in on your sheet. Okay, now we're going to have a look at the properties of these shapes. So an oval is a bit like a circle in the fact that it has one curved side. So it doesn't have any straight sides, it just has one side and it's curved. Okay, can you count the number of sides that this kite has? 1, 2, 3, 4 sides. A kite has 4 straight sides. What about the pentagon? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A pentagon has 5 straight sides. And finally, what about the hexagon? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A hexagon has 6 straight sides. So just like we did on the sheet the other day, you're going to now write a sentence about each of these shapes. So we learnt that an oval has, do you remember, one curved side, okay? And you need to write that on your sheet. Good luck with the rest of your work this week.